as we worship the Lord on this Lord's Day. It's good to see all of you here, and welcome to you. Just to set your minds at ease, John is not here this morning because he and Carrie are up in the Atlanta area watching grandchildren while their son and daughter-in-law are enjoying the weekend themselves. So that's why John is missing and why he's watching by live stream. I just want you to know, John, I did get here and got the doors open this morning, so people are here. And however, I failed to get the bulletins out on time, so you can talk with me about that later. But it is good to see all of you here. Welcome. Just want to call your attention to announcements. You've already seen a number of those on the slides and also in your bulletins. But just remember, of course, that as we observe Memorial Day this weekend, and in particular tomorrow, that the church office will be closed. And so the office will be closed. There will be no activities or events as normally scheduled on Monday here tomorrow. Please take the opportunity to observe and to reflect, as we have so much to be thankful for because of the sacrifices of so many. I do want to remind the ladies of your weekly Bible study opportunity on Wednesday at 10 a.m. So remember, ladies' Bible study Wednesday at 10 in the morning. And then next Sunday, June the 6th, will mark the beginning of Sunday school. We could have Bible school. You're going to be studying the Bible in Sunday school. And Mike Novak is going to be leading that. And is Mike here? He is here somewhere. In a moment. Okay. Hold that thought. Also, just want to ask you to make sure you pray as we reflect on the liberty and freedom that we have that is ours at such cost. Pray for our men and women in uniform. Pray for the risk that they continue to be at in this very dangerous world. It's always good for us to pray for our nation and pray for our leaders, and so I hope this weekend is a reminder to all of us to do that. It's not just a weekend, after all. Memorial Day is not meant to be just a time to get together and barbecue and go to the beach. It is a day to reflect and to remember and to think upon what we have because of what others have done. So let me take this opportunity then to allow you to see a special Memorial Day video in tribute.
They stood side by side, shoulder to shoulder, and answered the call. They moved forward, advancing the ideas that everyone was free, everyone was created equal, everyone has the right to pursue their own dreams, and that our nation was founded on those ideals. But not all of them came back. Some remained, never to go home, never to see their families. And some we lost this side of the field of battle. They were sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers, greatly loved. They charged forward for honor and peace and freedom. We acknowledge the empty space where we want them to be. Together we pay sincere tribute to those who fought for us, those we remember, those we love.
And so let us remember. Mike Novak is here, so Mike, come and tell us about Sunday school next week, if you will. 9 o'clock, right? 9 o'clock. All right, come on up.
Good morning. You know, one of the other things that COVID knocked out was our activity of Sunday school, adult Sunday school, and so we're happy to resume another step back to normality. So we begin next week. It runs from 9 o'clock to 9:40, and we're going to be doing a series of 5 weeks on Proverbs, book of Proverbs. So it's a special book. It's different from a lot of the other books of the Bible that You know, the Bible is the story of salvation. It's a story of grace and salvation. And yet, once we are saved, we have the question, what do we do now? And as Francis Schaeffer put it, how then shall we live? And the book of Proverbs has a lot to say about that. And so that's what we'll be looking at. It's a nice time of reflection before the Sunday service each Sunday. And so we invite you to join us, and we will be covering the topic of wisdom, which is the theme of the book. But we're going to do a deep dive on that for a couple of weeks, and then we're going to pick several of the many topics of the Christian walk, the godly walk, to discuss during the 5 weeks. So everyone's welcome. Please join us. Please participate and enjoy. Thank you.
A number of you expressed gratitude for the words that I wrote in the church newsletter for the month of May. And some of you have asked more about my Aunt Wiltsey that I mentioned there in that short letter. And so I thought, as I began this service today, John tells me that he normally reads something. And certainly there are those who have written more profound things. But in order for us to reflect perhaps at a different level on Memorial Day, let me read to you words that I read back in the year 2000 when my great-great-aunt Wiltsey, my great-grandmother's youngest sister, went home to be with the Lord. On behalf of the President of the United States and a grateful nation, these words are spoken every day in America at gravesides across the country. Surviving family has presented a flag in recognition of the invaluable service their loved one rendered for God and country in the U.S. Armed Forces. We especially remember those who sacrificed their lives in the fight for freedom on fields of battle. They are heroes. Today we enjoy the blessings of liberty purchased and defended by their shed blood on those battlefields from Bunker Hill to Normandy and 1,000 other places. We know their stories, but behind each one is another story, more often unknown. It is the story of a mother who bore the grief of a grateful nation. Wiltsey McClure Winchester lived her entire life on Plot Creek near Waynesville, North Carolina, and never saw an enemy soldier or heard a shot fired in anger. Her name does not anywhere appear for having given her life for her country. She gave something even more precious. She married at age 17 and raised 3 children. She was a faithful wife and a devoted mother. And she died in her sleep on September 25th, just one day before her 98th birthday. She was one of just a handful remaining from her generation. As I remember her, it was in her kitchen, eating biscuits and apple butter cooked on her spotless wood-cooked stove in her spotless kitchen. She fed me as I cut stove wood and mowed her yard so very many times as I could easily walk there from my grandparents' house. She told me stories about our family, particularly about her grandparents, and she was an invaluable source in my curious search for family history and remains an invaluable part of my memory. She was 14 years old when she accepted the Lord Jesus Christ and often told me about how she was baptized beneath the big beech tree on Plot Creek in 1916. In 1919, she married her childhood sweetheart, Lawrence, and they raised 3 children. But she was 16 years old when her brother Henry, a 26-year-old Marine,